kind of in some sort of tank suspended in fluid.
What else do you see around you?
Like the fluid in my body.
The fluid from the tank is in your body?
And the fluid around in the tank. The tanks are filled up with this fluid, and there's more than one tank.
What are in the other tanks?
The other ones that are like me.
What do the other ones look like?
They're similar sort of race, species to me. They kind of have like this, they're at different stages. Some of them are still bald, they haven't grown their hair on their head. They're a bit underdeveloped. I'm a bit more developed. The other ones, like they're in various stages of growth. I've become conscious of that. I guess that I'm, I don't think some of the others are conscious yet, but I'm conscious in this tank. I've become conscious.
You're aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. I think we're being administered by, our own beings, and also little robot type of things.
What are these robot type things?
They're growing us, doing what's necessary, checking our vitals. They're just attending to us. This is like a mass growing facility for these kind of beings.
Can you tell me what you look like? If you know.
I'm kind of one of the, I would say one of the elf beings. And like my body is like quite long and skinny, gangly. And my eyes are very black, like the dark, big eyes. I have black hair. I definitely get the feeling that I'm male.
Mm-hmm. Are you still being grown? Or are you close to finishing being grown?
Well, it appears that I'm conscious, so they've taken note that I've reached that maturing stage.
Is this the robots that have taken note?
Yeah, and then they're just giving the information. Well, the ones that come and look at us, they're just the ones of our own kind as well. They look like us. And they're like the only alive ones, and the robots are not alive. So these beings are growing their own kind in these vats.
Are you consciously aware of anything outside of where you are?
They check on me every so often. It's probably really soon that I get birthed out of the pod.
So these tanks are like a pod that you grow in?
Yeah, the fluid is kind of jelly-like. And it's a little, I don't know, it has like a green sort of tint to it. It's weird.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it enables us, it's got all these nutrients and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an artificial womb, but I'm not a baby, you see. I've been growing adult-sized ones in here. It's like I'm an adult, and they've grown me to an adult level.
Are you at the conscious level of an adult also?
Yeah, it's like they've sped up my growth, if that makes sense.
They've sped up the growth of your mind also, have they?
Yeah, so that when we're born, we're adults.
When you are born, will you have to go through the learning phase that babies go through?
No, this has already been programmed into us.
Okay. Is there anyone watching your tank right now?
There's the robot that comes sometimes, but then there's the beings that look like us, and then they just check on it.
Do these beings do anything else when they check on you? Or do they just observe?
They're linking into us telepathically.
Is this how they've sped up the learning progress of your mind?
It's like that's been programmed into my consciousness, but I don't know, the technology is really advanced. It's more like they're just communicating with me and scoping out my personality.
Okay. Do you know what your personality is like yet?
I'm quite clever.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they like that. I'm really, really intelligent.
They like that you're intelligent?
Yeah, I'm more intelligent than the other ones that are growing in these tanks.
They're not so intelligent?
Well, they're all intelligent in different ways, but I think they like the way that I turned out with how much, I guess, like connection in with the soul that I have. They like the soul that's come into this body, let's just say.
This is good, isn't it?
It's like the soul of me is part of this intelligence.
Okay. When they connect in with you telepathically, do they tell you anything?
Tell me what the world outside is like. They do give me an education of things, but like it's like they're showing me all of these different sort of situations in their world, and there's too many to sort of list.
What can you tell me about one of the situations that they've told you about? The most important one.
The world is kind of their world is a little kind of strange. It's sort of feels like a prehistoric, rainforest sort of situation. But there's like these high-tech sort of cities around in that where these things are going on. And they just, describe the outside world. And this planet has a lot of dense forest. And they've tunneled out the insides of the planet too. Dense prehistoric sort of forest. They say it's good to hide here. There's a lot of trees. It's good for us to hide. This is why we came here.
Why do you need to hide?
From the invading species. The reptilian beings.
What are these reptilian beings doing?
They just prey on our kind.
Do you know why they do that?
It's because of something that happened a long ago. A long time ago when we were a new species. And as we got older and older, we learned ways of how to deal with the reptilians. So we scoped out planets to go, and this was one of them. What they're talking about is this planet here with many, many trees, thick, dense looking prehistoric rainforest, and sometimes it gets quite misty, and we leave a lot of the trees there because the trees are very good for hiding. the dense forest, and we like the forest. We like the forest very much.
Forests are a very nice place, aren't they?
Yeah. So soon I think I'm going to be born out of the tank.
Okay. Why don't we move forward to the day that you are being born?
The goo, the green goo, the slime sort of component, it's kind of gone into these sort of grates on the floor. It's being drained. My tank's being drained. And I watch it slowly being drained, and I've been quite conscious for some time and looking around. Our growth is like really sped up, so we're not like coming out like babies, we're full grown. So the goo is going, I guess, into the bottom and slowly being drained out. And then like it's like the air from the outside touches my wet skin.
How does that feel?
It feels kind of refreshing.
It feels nice.
Yeah. I'm still covered with all of this gooey sort of stuff, still really wet. And then I'm just sort of standing there. And these kind of picked up by this little, I don't know, like a forklift sort of robot thing. They picked me up with this little forklift robot thing, taking me to, I don't know, like a weird room sort of thing where I have this weird steam bath shower thing. Just all of this mist going on to me.
Does that clean the remaining goo off you?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it's just getting me ready. It's like a production line sort of a thing. Weird as that sounds, yeah. And so I'm being scrubbed because the stuff is like so sticky. It kind of feels like dried egg when it dries, so it's really gross. And they're just sort of like, you know, misting all of this stuff and cleaning. It's like hard sort of mist jets are aimed at me.
How do you feel about that?
It's kind of funny. It's kind of ticklish. I close my eyes mostly because my eyes are very big.
What do they do once they've cleaned all of the goo off you? What's next on the production line?
Oh, it's like the beings that were watching me in the tank. They come forward and it's like they sort of they're smiling and it's like, you know, sort of like a happy birthday sort of a thing.
Welcome.
Yeah, they're really, there's a few of them and they're really happy to see me. Mostly, it's like a group of the females. The female sort of scientists, sort of a thing. And they look like me, except they're a lot shorter than me. I'm quite tall. Yeah, and they're just, like checking like me out as well, and just giving like one sort of last sort of checkup. I don't know, they're like measuring things.
What are they measuring?
The length of my fingers and stuff like that. It's kind of weird.
Do you know why they're doing that? Are they telling you?
They're growing us taller than usual. Okay, I see why. I see why I'm taller than everyone else. Yeah, they're growing us taller than usual. They've switched our genes on to make us taller and bigger. I see. Yeah.
Why have they done this?
It'll give us an advantage.
What do they need this advantage for?
It's for those, I guess, those invading species again.
Okay.
It's because we were quite small before. I feel like we were really quite small. That's why the beings that I see before me, they're really quite small. They're just like, sort of up to my armpits. And I'm like, a couple of heads bigger than them. My arms are big, my legs are big. I'm really sort of gangly and more like bigger and more. I wouldn't say like I'm muscular, but in a skinny sort of way.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
So you're very strong, do you feel?
Well, I'm stronger than the ones in front of me are.
Okay.
And well, like I'm taller and bigger, much taller. They've been growing tall ones.
And you're one of the tall ones?
Yeah, I'm a lot taller.
What happens after they finish measuring you? Where do you go next?
Looks like I get some clothes.
What do these clothes look like?
Just a very, very simple, like grey pants, grey long sleeve shirt type of a thing.
Okay.
A very simple one. And then I'm gonna say we do like athletic sort of skills as well. And there's there's other tall ones in kind of like I don't know, like in a gymnasium sort of a thing. And they're doing, some sort of exercises and VR sort of virtual reality sort of fights and simulations to get the muscles ready and whatnot.
Training.
Yeah, training.
What do you think you're training for?
Well, they put us all through this training, but I feel like they're particularly interested in me with my brain, with my with my brain skills and the soul that came into the body that's very intelligent. Well, if that can even be like a thing, it's like each soul that goes into bodies, it has like skill points. I guess like, you know, each soul has like things that it's really good at. And when the soul goes into a body and then it activates and it like melds with the body and it can activate certain things. And this is what they were excited with me about when the soul went into my body. It started to build my brain a lot more because I needed like a better brain. So it's like when my soul came into my body, it decided that, you know, I was going to be very smart. So even though, you know, they've grown all of these bodies to be the same, I guess, or very similar, it's like when my particular soul came in, it made the body different, but in a good way, and they were happy about it. So even though they're still putting me through the same sort of, I guess, muscle training as the others, they're very focused on my intelligence.
Why are they very focused on your intelligence?
Because I'm just more intelligent than the others. They're all made the same, but I've got more brains for some reason. Like that's just how I turned out.
So what advantage does your intelligence have?
They're putting me into these little sort of rooms away from the others. The others are doing their sort of thing, and they all look very similar to me. Like, you know, been growing all of these long, lanky ones, and they're getting them to run in sort of treadmill, sort of loop things, and climb and do all sorts of things with their bodies. But they take me aside more often. Like I'm the special one. They take me aside to this little room, and they're kind of they're telling me that my disposition is more like psychic, I guess. It's like a gifted sort of thing. It's like they're telling me that, you know, like the gifted child type of situation.
How will this be an advantage?
Well, they're doing little sort of psychic experiments or sort of tests with me, getting me to levitate this ball and then explode it with my mind, which I can do pretty easily. And then they get something harder. They get like a big sort of polished, round sort of rock. It looks like a bowling ball. And they're like, you know, we want you to break this with your mind. I'm like, okay then. And it's sort of, yeah, I can make it crack in half. I can make this big rock split. And they're quite interested in that. And then they just work it up to other things, like they're They're just looking at me and telling me to light a particular object on fire with my mind, and I'm like, okay. And they're giving me sort of training to do with this. It's like, you know, they're giving me like weird download sort of lessons with their consciousness as well, but they're really interested in what I'm doing, and or they've brought in an elder. Okay, so they're really interested in me now because they've brought in this older sort of one of the elders, this old elf guy, looks like my kind as well. He has these long sort of earlobes. He's very spiritual, this one. And his hair has gone white. And he still has the black sort of eyes. And he kind of has like a Yoda sort of look about him. I think I recognize this one, the elder. I think I kind of recognize him. I think he's like one of my spirit guides from this life. That's odd, because I sort of saw him and he had these sort of, I saw him for a bit and he had these dreadlocky sort of things, and I think I can recognize that he's that being. That's really interesting.
So has he known you before you were being created in the tank then?
I think this is the lifetime where we knew each other. Or like one of them anyway. So he's watching through this sort of glass window, and the scientists are all around, and they're really interested in me because I can make things light on fire and do all sorts of stuff just with my mind. They tell me to light objects on fire, the other elf beings, and I do that.
Can you tell me more about this elder?
He says that my soul's different to the others, that it's a special gift. It's a special gift that's been bestowed upon our people at this time.
What is this special gift? Is this the psychic gift?
It's the gift of me being here at this time, with these connected to my higher self, with all of these abilities coming through, fully connected in, knowing all of my past and who I am, connected in with that.
Do the other beings not remember any of that?
They do to an extent, but the elder says that, you know, that the creators have heard their calls. Creator beings, the Elohim beings, have heard their call, so their calls for help, so they've sent down a soul part of one of their own.
So is your soul in this self body a part of the Elohim beings?
Yeah, it's always been a part of that. And in this lifetime, the elder, recognized this. And the elder, he decides to take me on and personally train me myself. He decides to personally train me as well. Doing things like, there's like a waterfall type of thing in this room. He's getting me to bend the water, bend it into different shapes, and focus my mind.
How do you feel about all this training?
It's really good. Well, it's better suited for me, and I like the elder. I like him a lot. He's like a very wise teacher to me, and I look up to him a lot.
What do you call this elder?
It's hard to explain it telepathically, because we kind of use telepathic communication. He's the being, my guide, that's called Silver. He's just he is that being. Said, I think he had another name at that time, but I just know that as my guide, he's called Silver, or he calls himself Silver. I think, he doesn't really care of what his name is, really. It's just more of an essence of being.
The names aren't important then?
Well, they are, but more it's like the essence of who one is.
That makes sense. I want you to leave that scene and move forward to another important day in this life. A day you consider to be important when something is happening. Can you tell me what you see? Can you tell me what is happening?
We're outside in the forest, in the dense sort of prehistoric forest. And the elder, he's gotten me to, as like a sort of a challenge, I think he's gotten me to live in the forest on my own for a bit, like a challenge, away from, the society of our elf people. Well, this is the planet that we live on, but deep in one of the dense sort of forests, it's just all of these beautiful, misty, all around, and mists in the canopy and ferns. And he invited me into this space to sort of get a gauge at where I'm at with my connections with things. he says that this connection within the all is very, very important. And you can use this connection to do a great deal, many things, but first I have to learn about it. And so he teaches me about connecting in with this planet. About, like I even, wear simple clothes, like just like a rag type of a thing while I'm going around this sort of area, but it's like, that this is important learning to connect in with the trees. And I can see as like I can dematerialize my body and start to connect in with, like, sort of melding with the tree. And dematerialize and meld in with the rock. And he's like, giving me warnings to, well, not warnings, but like, saying that it's important to do this, but make sure that you're materializing and dematerializing, correctly, so you don't get stuck in the tree or something. And sometimes the scientists come out here and they observe too from these little hovercraft type of things. But mostly it's the elder who's walking through the forest with me. And he demonstrates different things and different states of being. He turns his like sort of hand into a mist, and then he turns it back physical. And then he's like, now I want you to become the mist. And so I dematerialize my body into the mist and then materialize it again. And he's like, that's very, very good. So he's teaching me all of these things. And like smelling the forest and like the energy of things. Like he teaches me how to sort of look back in time to, sort of ascertain what has happened in the forest beforehand. So I can turn back time and see for myself what has gone on in this forest.
These are all very special gifts to have. How do you feel about being able to do all of this?
It's quite good, which is I guess why they've brought the elder, because the elder can do some of this stuff as well. Like, the others, they all have psychic abilities as well too, but not to this extent. Not to this extent, which is why the elder has been my teacher. He points to my chest, like my soul, like where my soul is. And he points to it and he's like, one day you're going to have to use this, all of this power within. You're going to have to use this.
Use your soul, does he mean?
Yeah, use the power of my soul, like within. So he points to that and he's like, you have to use that. But like he's like, I may not be around for when that happens. because he's already quite old, you know, but our species grows quite old, you know. We last for about, you know, more than 700 years at this point. But the teacher he's very ancient. He's like, you know, into the thousands already in how long he's lived. So he knows a lot, and he's very respected and wise, which is why all the scientists are very interested in me and what's going to happen with this interaction with me and the elder or the teacher. And he's like, you know, telling me that, you know, one day he's going to decide to pass on. So, you know, he needs someone there who's more like he is, but, you know, who can carry on the flame, I guess.
You've been chosen to be that one, have you?
Yeah, I've been chosen by this elder. He chose me, and he said that he had a vision of me when I was in the tank. As soon as the soul came into my body, he said that he had a vision of that, and that so he was interested in the moment that I came into existence. And he said that they, you know, they answered the call. They answered the call, and they sent someone, and that someone was me. So it's like he already knew before I was, you know, even in this situation. He already knew when my soul went into the being in the tank and began to change its brain, change the pathways of the brain to make these psychic abilities. Because my soul did that. It wasn't them growing me in the tank. My soul is the one that changed it.
Yeah.
Creates the light from within that changes it. And he knew.
Do you think the soul is the essence of who you are?
Yeah. Because the elder says he knows me from before as well. That, you know, he's been dream sharing with me. He's been, well, we look at each other's lifetimes that we've had together. We just sort of sit cross-legged and we gaze into each other's, we peer into each other's soul history, and we can see a great deal, many things. And he tells me, sort of like, you know, you are, the soul is, you know, at the Elohim being, Elohim level, and he's like, you know, he's telling me that his soul is an archangel, and he's like, you know, we know each other from before. He's telling me, you know, like, we helped to create the universe in the beginning. So he has this special connection with me because we're both from the spiritual universe. We're both from the I guess the pleroma, the heavens. We're both very advanced angelic beings, just having an incarnation experience. And the elder and I are sharing this connection.
That sounds like a really special connection. It sounds like you both have a lot of history together.
We've been in various, we've incarnated aspects of our souls, our angelic souls in various lifetimes with each other, and this is an important one together that we share, and he can be my teacher for this time. And he says that he's honored to be my teacher for this time. He knew the moment that, my soul came into the body. Yeah, such a connection that I have with the elder.
It sounds like a really beautiful connection. Alright, so now let's leave that scene and move forward to another important day. A day when something important is happening. A day that you consider to be quite important in this life that you're experiencing. Can you tell me what is happening around you?
It's like a graduation of sorts. And the other elf beings have their own sort of graduation, but because I guess I'm a special one, I don't know, the elder gives me a hooded robe and like a staff sort of a thing as well. So, he begins to talk about the history of this and, how important it is. I'm going to be a mage sort of a thing. And I have longer sort of hair as well now. And I'm going to be like a wizard thing. A lot of the others have become warriors, but I'm going to be like a wizard. A wizard type of a thing.
Why are you a wizard and not a warrior like the others?
Because I'm really special. And I have these abilities. And so I wear like this red sort of robe. I wear a red robe with a hood. And the scientists and stuff, they're still very interested in me. They're very tiny. They're still it's like I've grown even taller. And they come up, just to like my waist almost. I'm a very tall, wizardy elf thing. Very, very tall. And they're taking some of my DNA as well, so that they can, because my DNA has been changed by my soul somewhat, and they want to use this to create more beings with more advanced capabilities. So they're very excited to, I guess, use some of my my genetic material as well. And the elder blesses the genetic material when they take it. It's very strange. It's like, he gives that, like we give that material extra sort of power for any more beings that can be grown from that. So that's very important to the scientists when they're collecting this genetic material. We make sure, as wizards, to when they collect this genetic material for me to do it in a very ritualized way. And just seeing that, you just cut into the palm of the hand some blood and drip out, and this is the genetic material that they're going to use. As well as they also use, I'm going to say, my sperm as well, but this is done in a ritualized way so that that material, that genetic material, can have like that higher capability, so that they can grow more of these advanced beings that are similar to me.
By similar to you, do you mean have similar gifts to you?
Yeah, very advanced capabilities, psychic capabilities, advanced ones, bigger brains. Well, like there's special things happening in the brain when it comes to these abilities. New pathways are opened up. They're closed through fear, but they're opened up through the light within. And because I have a lot of light within me, these pathways have opened up for me. So it's a way out. It's the light at the end of the tunnel for this species.
So through replicating your DNA, they will be able to create more beings that have more light within them.
Well, the capability, if the soul comes in, to be able to switch on, it's complicated to express. It's like that ability is just there, all it needs is the right soul to come in and switch it on, or a light bulb moment within the soul to happen, and then it's like this little sort of ascension thing takes place, and then the DNA, the modified DNA, is switched on. It's like a combination of the two.
Okay. That makes sense. What happens after this graduation day and after the scientists have taken your DNA?
I think the elder has decided that he's going to pass on. He's going to pass on now. And so, before he passes, he's just, sitting on a bed. And, I'm beside him, and we're going to dream share for one last time. And he's going to transfer anything else that I need to know before he decides to leave the body. This is a very sacred sort of thing, and I noticed he's only letting me in here. It's a dark sort of room. He doesn't let any of the others in there. He's letting me in there. I don't think he has any family or anything left, but he has me, and he's going to just transfer this to me. So it's important that I'm here. because I'm the one who's going to be like the, I guess, the new elder type of thing. But I'm not so old. Perhaps I've been living for like, just more than 100 years but at this point. But for my species, I'm not so old. But the elder is going to pass it on. And his consciousness links with mine. And we go on a journey together, like through our consciousness. And it's like he gives me all of these, he gives me so much information that can't exactly be deciphered in words. Like packets and packets and packets of information that he's gathered, and he transfers it to me for later use. Transfers it into my consciousness. It's like, our brains are computers, and he just took his file, his big file, and he copied and he pasted it into mine. And then, I can access that file at the time that's most necessary for me as I move forward. And he's deciding to leave the body now. So I hold his hand. His hair is very white, and he's very frail and skinny. And he's just, after he does this, the transfer, then he's going to leave the body. And he dissolves into this light. He dissolves into this light. And I no longer see his physical body anymore. It's like it's just all turned into light. I was holding his hand and now he's gone. But he lets me know, like, I'm all around you now. You can always, I'll always be there. And I know that he's there. I can sense his presence. And he's gone back to where he came from now, but he says, he can, a part of him can always be with me as well as I go through this. Like, he can be anywhere, really. He can be anywhere, and so can my soul. I can be anywhere too. So we know this. So it's not particularly sad, this passing. It's just how it is. And we know that we're always there together, and he's always there. I feel like the elder's almost even closer now. Even closer than he was before. So he continues, like I go on, and he continues to show me things in the spirit. He continues to visit me in my dreams. Me and the elder, like, sometimes I come out of the body and we travel and whatnot. There's really no difference. He's just decided to not have a physical body anymore. But he's still teaching me. He's still teaching me. It really hasn't changed much, except for the fact that his physical body is no longer there.
He's just not able to physically teach you anymore.
No, but I think he can still teach me. I can still connect with him really easily.
Of course. He's still there.
Mm.
He's just not physically there anymore.
Mm.
And you're not sad about this?
No, not sad at all. Like, I think it's great for the teacher. Like, he is more one with this blissful sort of energy now. He feels so much more free, and I'm happy for the teacher. I know that he had a hard task to come to this world in this role that he was in for quite some time. It was very brave of him to come, and very, very necessary for him to come, this archangel being to come into this body and become this teacher.
Sounds like it was quite an experience.
Yeah, he had a good life, but he's still there with me. I can still connect with him anytime I want.
Yes. You also have all of the information that he passed on to you before he passed.
Yeah. It was like almost like an Akashic Records level of a library that he gave me of wisdom about this planet and these people and what he learned, what he saw, what's the most important thing for me to do and learn. It's all there.
You can access it whenever you feel you need to.
Yeah, I can access it anytime I like. Now I take the role of the elder. And I have a lot of big decisions, I guess.
What sort of big decisions do you have now that you are the elder?
Well, it's like the elder, isn't sort of born, it's like, created, like, one becomes the elder. And it's like he was a part of this, the elder before. And because of the soul coming into the body and because of the capabilities and because of all of this, and I created this sort of situation for myself before incarnating to help these people, to help this race on this planet. And I've become very aware of this. I'm very much connected in. And so there's this big council of all of these other elder beings, these elder elf beings. And we all wear the hooded robes, all of the elders. And we, as elders from all over our planet, and we gather and we speak with each other about what needs to be done, the various decisions that need to be made. And we have a lot of respect, but we're kind of like also very much like hermits in a way. I don't see like the rest of the society full of warriors and other elf beings as much as I do these sort of like hermit type of beings, elf beings with the hoods, the elders, I don't know, it's like a sort of a secret society in itself. It's like a secret society of, well, but not secret. I guess it's quite, everyone knows about the elders. The elders just kind of,
Do they keep to themselves mostly?
Well, we come amongst the people, and we always wear our robe to, I guess the robe with the hood is the signifier that we're the elder. We're taking the elder role. And whether we're old or not is another thing. It's just that our souls are very advanced, and so we're recognized for that, for our souls being like this and being connected in with that aspect of the all through our souls.
You mentioned that you had some big decisions to make as an elder. What are some of those big decisions?
It is usually to do with what we have been, I guess, fighting against for so long. Well, the invading species, but the reptilian beings, but it's like as the elders, we've been made aware that there is something even above the reptilian beings that controls them. And the elders, we speak about this all the time. It's like the folks underneath us, the regular elf beings, they don't really know about the forces that control the reptilian beings, but we have knowledge of this, and we are, discussing, this and what is going on. And it's like, there's like a hall with the elders, like a round table sort of situation, and we're discussing the controllers of the dark forces at the very, very top level. And I tell the other elders, I tell them about my soul history as well. We reach into our own soul histories, and we know our soul histories, like, up and down, in and out, and we can like sort of grab information and knowledge, and we can like give it to the rest of the council for consideration. Like we saw this in a time long before, and when we talk about that situation and the good things and the bad things and what worked and what didn't, I guess. And so I speak about the reptilian beings from my own soul history and what happened with that. And I speak out about this, and the other elders are very surprised, but they've sort of had a feeling about this. And I just ask all the elders just to consider what I'm saying for a moment, because I know that it may be quite a strange story that I'm about to tell. And so I tell my story to the other elders in the council. Some of them I don't think they like it, and the other ones are like, I had a feeling about this, I knew it. This is confirmation. I'm kind of new on this elders council. I'm kind of new, so I kind of have to prove myself, I guess. So I guess that's why there's some that they don't necessarily like what I talk about, but they'll listen and they'll take it in. And then others, they're like, I knew it all along. And so, I really go into this council and tell them all about the fallen angels and how these beings they kind of started this whole thing with the reptilian beings, like how they contributed to it. And because I'm from that realm, I know the story of what went on. And yeah, there's a lot of talk amongst the elders. I think, maybe I don't know if I've hit the nail on the head with what's happened. I'm only telling them what I saw in my soul history. I'm only telling them what I knew.
What did you see in your soul history?
That I was a creator being, an Elohim being, and then that like the Elohim beings, and there was this big sort of, war, between the creator angelic beings and the Nephilim fallen angel type of beings, and this has carried on to the physical level, and what has been going on with the invaders, the reptilians, it's just the tip of the iceberg, really. In terms of that, it's just the physical sort of effects of something that happened long ago. And I tell them all about this. And it's a bit hard for some of them to take. Some of them are like, yeah, I can see that I've been doing this sort of thing for quite some time, this truth-telling thing. I'm telling, the truth of what I see within my soul. It doesn't always land very well for people, but I do it anyway.
But the truth can't be hidden forever, can it?
No. Well, this is just what I know. This is what I know within my heart, within my soul. I'm very connected to this soul. Like, I don't, I'm very realized. I'm very, very realized in my consciousness. So I'm very connected inwards. I'm very much like the hermit sort of archetype. And I see that I keep telling, different parts of this story, and some of the elders really don't like it. I don't think they, I don't know. I think that they think that, see, they've never seen this stuff this deep before. They've never seen, they haven't seen what I've seen in their soul histories. This has kind of been hidden from them. So they're kind of like, some of these other elders are saying that, like, I'm lying and whatnot.
Is this why you were called down for help? To help bring more of this information to light?
Yeah. Yeah. It's because I have a unique perspective with my soul history that was required to be shared at this time. At this time in this civilization, this was very important. And I have, a group of, I guess like elders that are supporting me, and a group that are, against me, and like the council is very divided now, and I don't like that. I don't like that we're divided, and I don't like that it's because of me.
Can anything be done about this?
I try and dream share with the other elders. I'm like, listen, you can look through my soul's history. I'm an open book. Just read me, Just read me like a book. You can read my soul history. I'll open it all up for you. Just read. Read what I have within. I will show you. They don't even want to know.
Do you think they're afraid of it?
Yeah. They are confronted by how deep this information goes. They are confronted by it. They are confronted by, how deep this conflict goes. The information that I bring forth is quite confronting for them, that I see. And they don't even want to look at it. They don't even want to look at it. And they telling me, this is my soul history. This is the way it is. This is what I remember in my dream sharing. And then I share and I look into their sort of memories, and I'm like, yes, that is what you have seen. It's wonderful. But I just have a different perspective. And it's like, we're coming to terms with each other's perspectives. And the other elders are kind of figuring out that they're figuring out too that I may be a little bit different. And they speak amongst themselves about, the elder before me, the one that passed on all the knowledge. And they're like, what could he have told you? And I just tell them, I'm an open book, just read me. Just read my field. I almost challenge them, I'm like, read my field. Read it. You can read me. Read my soul.
Do they read your soul eventually?
They are still too challenged to do that. There are some elders that are with me, and some that do not want to take this on board at all. No matter how much I try and prove my point, I guess, it doesn't really matter. Because they won't take it on board anyway. I think it's quite frustrating, because I thought that these people were very spiritual. I thought that they could see from each other's perspective as well. I thought that they were like me. I thought all of the elders were going to be like me. I thought they were going to be like my teacher. I guess they're not like my teacher. And I grew kind of frustrated, and I see that I go out into the forest a fair bit.
Maybe your teacher knew that you would help to challenge them challenge their perceptions.
Oh, the teacher knew too. I called into the forest. I went into the forest and, I was very frustrated. So I called on the teacher. I called for his soul. And he appears before me in a shimmery sort of form. And he's just like, I knew the same thing as you. I saw the same thing as you, because I am too from the realm which you are a part of. I am too from the angelic realm as well. And he says some of the teachers are very wise. Some of the other elders are very wise. However, he's just explaining to me that we're all at different levels of evolution. You have to understand that sometimes your perspective can be challenging, and that's okay. But don't force it on anyone. Don't force it on anyone. He's telling me that I've been trying to force my perspective onto the council, and this is causing the divide, and trying to get them to realize what I've seen. I've been a bit forceful about it. It's like they'll figure it out in their own time, how deep this goes. You just continue plodding on, doing what you need to do. And they'll come around to it eventually.
You've given them the information.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do.
Yeah.
You've planted that seed of thought in their minds.
Yeah. I've told them all that I could have told them about, my soul history. It's just whether they respond or not. It's up to them. It's up to them, really. I'll just put the information out there. And I thank the teacher. He gives me his blessing and he leaves. It's just like, just do not force it on them. Do not do that. He's saying it's just like getting me to realize I think I'm a bit young for this position, but he had a lot of wisdom when he had a body. He gained more wisdom through having a body and having all of these experiences. Like, I have this wisdom within. However, how I present it outwards sometimes is challenging to others. So, he's just like, make sure you take everyone's perspective into consideration, You'll cause a divide if you're too, I guess, forward and pushy with the information. And I see that's what's been going on. And some of the elders even accused me of being, I would say, inhabited by a demon. And I told them no, that's not the case. It's not the case. But I have to go back and make it better to the council, because I've caused a bit of a divide. Caused a divide here. Caused everyone to divide against each other. And as the divide happened, I can see that a lot of decisions were not made, and things went into disrepair with our society.
How do you go back to the council and make it right?
Well, I'm just saying that, I'm very, very sorry for causing this divide. Like, I address everyone, so that, I'm the main culprit for causing this divide. Of how I presented this information was too forceful. And, I'm happy to abdicate my position if need be. And they're just talking amongst each other. And there's been a surprising twist as well. They say that no, we need you here. Don't abdicate your position. Because it appears that we have found something that verifies a lot of your claims. And I was like, oh, okay. I have this sense of relief. But it's really, really, it's really good, I guess. Because I was like, I just knew all along, but yeah, it's really hard in the meantime.
Alright, we're going to move forward to the next important day in that lifetime, when you consider something to be of great importance happening.
There's the crowning of the king. There is a king that is going to be crowned. And they want my advice, I guess, on who would be suitable in the royal families of our world for this role. And I've chosen this particular guy, and I think that he'll do a good job. But I don't think that the others necessarily agree. But I'm like, alright then, well, it appears that I have a lot of influence. I don't know how to feel quite about this. I can do various things, I have various abilities. A lot of the other elders very much respect me because of the revelations that I brought forth concerning the involvement of the fallen angels with, I guess the downfall, I guess, of our species and the invaders, and how that they're linked with each other, the reptilian invaders. So I just made the link for everyone and was like, look, this is what's going on. So now I have a lot of respect, but it's very, I don't necessarily like all of this responsibility put on me. I'm still very quite young compared to some of the other elders. I feel a bit, I'm just always proving myself, but I've risen quite quickly. And I don't particularly like the responsibility of having to choose the king. I don't really like that. And they're like, you must choose. You must choose. And I'm like, well, I really don't really want to choose. Like, you know, well, I'll say what my choice is, but like it's not final. You guys can make your choices too. I want to make it a little bit more diplomatic, I guess. You know, some people disagree with my choice, and I'm like, well, feel free to make your own choice. It's quite frustrating.
Do you feel that there should be a vote amongst all the elders, as opposed to it being solely put on you?
Yeah, I think there should be a choice. I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of I love these beings, but this society is quite in victimhood sort of a role, and they would prefer to leave things to me because it appears that, you know, I'm very, very wise. And that is true, but, you know, they need to have their part in it as well. This is what got me into trouble to begin with, you know, because I was too forceful with my ways of doing things. So I'm like, well, you know, you need to choose as well. You know, sometimes they disagree with me, and like I sort of feel a little bit threatened by the other elders sometimes, like they're going to go behind my back. I get that feeling, but you know.
Have they ever gone behind your back before?
My teacher came into my room one night. He, like, you know, reappeared himself. He, like in a non-physical form, he appeared in my room, and he was just like, you need to watch out for a couple of the people in the council. You need to watch out. You need to watch your back. And I was like, oh, you know, I didn't like that at all. I just wish that everyone could be more harmonious with each other. But, you know, I also don't see a lot of the conflict that's going on this world. So I can understand why, you know, they have a different view of us elders. And we really need to be careful. Because, you know, we're kind of a little bit divorced from the greater conflict of what's going on happening in the physical level. We're kind of protected from that. We're always, you know, discussing and sharing and going within and having meetings and wandering the forest.
So, did you end up choosing the king, or did everyone have a vote?
They just want to heap the decision on me, but still I feel that some of them do not agree with the decision, but still they are being they're being in this, I don't know, victimhood role. They just want me to do it, but they're not necessarily always happy with the things that I decide.
But even if there is a vote amongst all the elders, there will still be people who are unhappy with the outcome.
Yeah, that's right. There'll still be ones that are unhappy. I just chose this king because I can see his heart is very kind. But the others are like, you know, he needs to be more intelligent. But I, you know, or like more psychically attuned and more intelligent in that way. And I'm like, well, I try and explain to them that this is what matters at the end of the day, is somebody's heart and soul, and you don't really, like, you're thinking, you're not thinking quite right about this, and this is the conflict again, you know, trying to express where I'm coming from, and the others, sometimes they don't always agree.
What does your teacher think about the decision that you have to make?
He just, in the spirit form, he just tells me to just be careful. And I see that, you know, one time I'm wandering the forest and I come across the dead body of one of the elders that supported me. So they left it here as a warning, I think. It's really, like, I know what happened. I can sort of see it I can see what has occurred. I know what game that they're playing. This is a dangerous game that they're playing. And some of the ones in the council, and I've grown suspicious of the ones that my teacher has told me about. And there's been, you know, the killing the news of the killing of one of the elders makes its way around the council, and how I stumbled upon it. And it's like, you know, they've tried to, you know, almost set me up with this, but I'm like, I'm an open book, you know. And I reported it. I reported it to the other elders, and then there's suspicion growing again. And I just think this is so silly. This is so silly, you know, these games that they're playing. I didn't realize how silly some of these other elders would be. And I speak to my teacher every time I go to my dwelling. I speak to him. I contact him in the spirit form and tell him, you know, look what has happened. Look what has taken place. The council is in shambles. And, you know, the beings, the other elf beings in our society is just, it's like we're kind of having our own dramas in the council, and nothing is getting done, and bad things are happening. Bad things are taking place in our society, and there's been, you know, like dark infiltration, I feel. I feel that there's been an infiltration into the council. And this has caused all of this. And I'm going up against this infiltration from the inside.
How do you deal with the infiltration?
It's difficult because there's two elders on the council, the ones that, you know, my teacher was telling me about. And this is not good. This is not good.
What is happening?
My teacher, he has shown me, and I have seen with my soul, that these two beings that were supposedly on the council, the elders, these two ones that he speaks of, they are not who they say they are. These ones that they're infiltrators. They're not these aren't elves, but they look like us, but there's something going on. There's something sinister going on. Their souls are not... When I see their souls, I do not see ones that... do not see so-called elders that they speak of. They are infiltrators. They are completely dark. They are dark within. It's like they're these shapeshifter sort of things. They're not us. They're not elves. They're different. These two on the council that my teacher was warning me about. And they're the ones that killed the other elder that supported me. I found his corpse in the forest. And now I figured it out. I don't know what to do about this, because these things are not elves. They're like kind of demonic sort of things wearing, bodies that look like ours, but they're not these two. They're not us. This is a dark infiltration. This is an infiltration. The dark ones have infiltrated our council, and I've seen it now. I see it for what it is. I can look through their souls. They easily conceal themselves to the others. They easily conceal themselves and pretend to be somebody that they're not. But I can tell who they are. And they don't like me. They want to get rid of me.
So do they know that you know?
They know who I am.
Do they know that you're aware that they are infiltrators?
Yeah, it's like they came into the council, pretended to be these other elders. I don't know what happened to the other ones. But they're just using their bodies almost. It's this force, this dark force within. They're just using the bodies of these two. So it's been like, but I don't even know if the original two elders that these took over, I don't know if they're dead or, I don't know. It's a mystery to me, but this is very, very strange. And I know that, they're sort of, they know who I am, and they tried to, I guess, come for me, not come for me, but try to remove my influence from the council. They've infiltrated into our society itself. And I have become aware of this, that this darkness has infiltrated into our society itself. So I have to watch my back.
How do you deal with them being there?
I do not give away any sort of hints about what I'm going to do in the future. I do not give away any hints about that. I do not, I shield my mind from them. I shield my mind from them. And this angers them. They continue to challenge me. But it's hard to discuss with the others, because they will, I don't know what they'll feel if they know that the ones amongst them have been infiltrated. I know, but I feel it's a dangerous game to tell the others. I don't know what to do. Oh. So I ask my teacher, I ask him for his help. How do I reveal these ones to the others? How do I reveal the darkness within these ones? And he tells me, he shares with me, my teacher in spirit form, he shares with me, I guess, the secret of how to do this, the secret of how to reveal them. It's like he's given me breadcrumbs in this little library of what he's given me. He's given me information of how to access the light within, the full potential of my light within, so that I may expose. He's telling me, you have the gift to expose. You can expose these beings to the rest of the council. You can unveil them. You know how to do it. You know how it's right in here. And where he tapped to my chest in the first instance, long ago, and he taps to my chest again. You know how to do it. You know how to reveal the darkness within. You know how to do that. And I think I figure it out. I figure out how to do it, how to expose them.
So how do you expose them?
We call a meeting. I call a meeting with an announcement that I feel that there has been something going on. I don't reveal many details. I don't tip them off. I just say that, I kind of say that it's an emergency announcement. And so everyone shows up. It's a very big deal. Everyone shows up. And well, I didn't. They're asking me what is the nature of this. And I do not give any clues yet. And I said, I will speak about it later. And these two file into the room. And, everyone's asking, well, why were we called here? And I was like, I will speak about it later. I'm very mysterious. I'm quite older at this point. And they want to know so badly what it is that I called everyone for. And they already know about my strange oddities and eccentrics, so guess, you know, some of them aren't surprised, but still want to know so badly why it is that I called everyone here today. And I say that I'm going to unveil our new plan for moving forward, and I'm just very, very vague about it. Yeah, I don't let anyone know anything. And I feel my teacher is watching this in spirit. He's watching this as an archangel being. And he's smiling, and I'm smiling on the inside. And everyone is like, well, what is it? What is it? What's going on? All of the council are wondering what's going on. And there's even, you know, like some of the beings that aren't in the council, some of the other elves, they're here too. There's so many that are here. I still don't give any clues, but then I call those two forward, the infiltrators. And I'm like, I have a gift. I have a gift for these ones. And I see why I've done this. I see why I've done this. I guess I am very intelligent. Because the reason why so many people are here, so many other beings are here, is so that these two can't escape under the darkness. Under the cover of darkness. They have to be seen by everyone. And I've seen that I've set this all up. And that there's, you know, I tell everyone that it would be wonderful if we could have more light in the room. And I'm going to give a gift to these two here so that we can move forward. What we need to do next, and I'm very, very vague on purpose. And so I start to form this big light in my hand. And I'm like, I will give this beautiful gift of light to our friends over here so we can move forward. Because I feel that this contribution would be necessary. Everyone's looking at each other like, what is he talking about? I'm just waffling on at this point. And it's confusing everyone. It's confusing these two, the infiltrators. It's really confusing them. Because, you know, they're just thinking that I'm speaking gibberish. Or telepathing gibberish to everyone. And so this light comes out of my hands and I make it very, very big. I draw all of this light from my soul and bring it down. And then I directed at these two beings, these infiltrators. I directed at them. And they start screaming. They start screaming. This horrible, you know, black stuff comes out of them, and then they start screaming, the two of them. And everyone is like panicking. What's going on? What's the meaning of this? And they're all, you know, all of the other elf beings are very, very distressed. They're looking around and some of them are like, stop this, you know, what are you doing to them? And I say, behold, there is infiltrators among us. And then I shine this light even further, and it kind of shows these two very, very dark beings that have infiltrated. It shows their true form. And they look like, oh my goodness, everyone's shocked. Oh, everyone's so shocked because it's kind of revealed. There's these winged sort of demon looking things, these very, very black demon looking things, kind of reptilian demon type of things. Very big and black. And they're just standing there. And there's a big panic. There is a big panic. And everyone's wondering what to do. What is it that we should do? And they try and go around and they try and attack some of the other elders, these ones. They just, try and attack. And I'm like, shine the light from within at them. Quickly do it now. And slowly, one of the elders has been killed by these ones. It's too late for him. They're just kind of like running rampant now. Quickly, I'm telling everyone, shine the light from within at them. Shine the light from within. Use your power from within. Use the force from within. Shine it at them. Burn them. Burn them with fire. Use your powers. And so there's this big scuffle, and like the elders are all, the remaining ones are in action. There was one that was killed, but the others have sprung into action. And it's sort of like, it looks a little bit like a wizard battle between these two sort of infiltrators and me and the others and the other elders. And we've got them contained now. Got them contained in this cage of light, which is really, really good. Now they've been, I guess, these two really, really dark infiltrators. They've been placed underground in this area so that we can study them. And it's this high security sort of prison type of thing for these ones. So that was very interesting.
Wow. How do the other elders feel now that these infiltrators have been exposed?
They're shocked that it happened to begin with. They're really, really shocked. And they wonder how much of our world has been infiltrated. They wonder how much darkness is among our world. They wonder about it. So it's like I've planted the seed for them to understand, because I sort of feel concerned after this, now that I've exposed these ones. Begin to feel that perhaps I've been targeted by them on a larger level now. So I'm always looking behind my back And I notice that I have guards with me. I've taken these two, big elf beings as guards to watch over me as I sleep and as I eat and as I do all of these things. Watch over me in my life, like bodyguard type of things. After this incident, I feel there's like a rippling in the energies that, they know what I've done. They know that I've exposed that. So I'm a threat now. I'm even more of a threat than I was before.
Okay, we're going to move forward. I'm going to move forward to the last day in that life. What is happening?
One of these dark ones with the wings is in my room, and my guards have been killed. They are not there anymore. And this dark one with wings is in my dwelling, and I was aroused from my sleep by this presence. It kind of like almost paralyzes me because it took advantage of me in a vulnerable state. Even so, I'm able to fight a little bit, but
what is happening?
Scratches me up. It's like this horrible sort of thing. And I try and fight it off, but in the end I just let go of the physical body because it's too difficult to be in anymore after my body has been, I feel like it bites into my neck, this thing. It bites into my neck. And so I decide to leave the body as a soul. And then in the soul form, when I leave the body, I come into contact with my angelic light body, my angelic self, and I fight this being on this level now, and I'm able to subdue it. I wrap these light chains around it. Even though it killed my body, it did not kill me. And I'm able to subdue it. It's sad that this happened to the body, but it's like I know I continue on. So it's not that much of a problem. This is kind of a strange way of looking at things, but it's like I'm very advanced and, you know, I don't care. I'll keep going on. I'll keep moving on. I'll keep moving forward with what I have to do, with my mission, even though I don't have a body anymore. So I subdue this being, and then I take it to the other angels. I know exactly what to do because I'm so connected in with the being that I was in that lifetime, with my soul. So I take it to where it needs to go. I take it to have its trial on the heavenly realms. This being, this dark being that killed me. And I see all the other angels, and I know that I'm home. All the other Elohim beings. And it's like I come back into my big sort of Elohim body after I do this and take that dark being to where it needs to go. I'm reunited with all of them.
How does it feel being back home now?
Beautiful. There's so many shining faces. And they're all so proud of the information I seeded within that lifetime. They're all so proud of what I did and the heads up that I gave all of the other elders about this situation. And that information will change their society. And they will go even deeper and deeper within. And I'm seeing that the genetic material that they scraped off of me, that they got from me, I'm seeing that they were able to become more and more spiritual, more and more connected in, as a result of my genetic material being seeded.
That's wonderful.
Mm.
That's what they wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I came there to do. Came there to be a light and to bring a new way forward. Be the light at the end of the tunnel for these peoples.
I'm glad they got to the point that they needed to get to.
Mm.
You helped them to get there.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the conscious mind to now recede and give it much love and much thanks. I now ask for the higher self of Elizabeth to be brought forward. And let me know as the body is adjusting.
I am just adjusting to the body.
No worries. Thank you for letting me know.
It's hot.
Would you like me to remove the blanket?
Yes, please. It's hot. It's hot. Hot for the body.
Is that enough?
The duvet? Yeah. It's okay, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let me know as soon as you're ready.
Yes, I am ready. I am ready and I'm within the body.
Wonderful. Are you able to tell me who you are?
I am an Elohim being. Lumina. I am. And this is the higher self.
It's lovely to meet you, Lumina.
Yes. Thank you.
Are you able to tell me what the purpose of that life was?
It is very much linked to the life that she is having at the moment. She has a very similar role to the one that she had in that lifetime, so it was very important for her to see the role that she had, that she played in that lifetime was very, very connected in with the one now, which is why she has her elder Silver as the guide.
So is Silver a guide in this current life?
Yes, yes, he is her guide in this life. She just did not realize which lifetime he was from, how they were connected, but this is how they are connected. He was the elder and the teacher.
Is he still a teacher even in this lifetime?
Yes, he is still a teacher to her. It would be good for her to go within and then to ask Silva anything that is on her mind, as she does with her other guides. It would be wonderful for her to connect in with Silva more often. Silva is an archangel being that has been an elf for many, many times, many lifetimes, incarnating a small part of himself into bodies.
But he's not incarnated into a body in this lifetime?
No, no, no. He's just her guide. He is not incarnated into a body in this lifetime. He is just serving as her guide for this life. So this is where he is from. He is the teacher. And I'm feeling as I'm going to let Silver give her a download now.
Okay.
I'm going to let him give her a download into her mind and to open up her abilities even more so. And he is just changing her brain as well. He is helping with this. So I'm giving him the opportunity to do this now.
Okay.
To give that activation for her. She is feeling some discomfort within the head, but this is not anything bad. This is just the brain expanding in its pathways.
Is she feeling discomfort within her head right now, or is she feeling discomfort within her head in her waking life?
Right now, but it's okay. It's fine. The body is fine. She will just need to rest afterwards.
Of course, that is completely understandable. I'm assuming she will need to hydrate a lot afterwards.
Yes, she is very dry. This is no good.
I'll make sure to let her know. Is it okay if I ask some questions that she would like to ask now?
Yes, this is fine, this is fine.
It won't interrupt the download from Silver, will it?
No. He will continue.
Okay. She wants to know how her soul took part in the creation and seeding of Lyra.
This will be needing a session of its own, which she will have on YouTube in the future, but she did take part in this. She took part in the creation of this, and when these elf beings were first brought into physical form, she had a part in this and creating this race. She created the race that she had gone into this lifetime. This was like an offshoot of this original race that she helped to create.
Okay. So she created it and then she went down there as a being later on.
Yes, she participated in the co-creation of the Lyran species. She participated in the co-creation of the, I would say, the feline beings and the elf beings.
Okay. Does she have a lot to do with the feline beings as well?
Yes, she does, but this will be explored at a later stage. She will get more into this as she goes through the galactic history.
Okay. Where was the green world that had lots of butterflies? And what was she doing there?
This was in the beginning. This was the beautiful time in the beginning when we created the Lyran. We co-created the Lyran race. We assisted with this, the elf beings. And it was on a beautiful world called Avalon, and there was this beautiful green world filled with beautiful structures and butterflies and lots of greenery. It was like a paradise, and we were there in the beginning. We were there. The Elohim came in the beginning, and we met with the species when they were new, and we helped them to acclimatize to their new world. And they were very, very bright at this time. They had so much light around them, and it's like we took the role of the parent. We took the role of the parent, and they took the role of the child. And we helped them to grow up in this beautiful world and find their way. So the angels and Elohim came down and assisted them with this, the creation of the first humanoids in the universe, and we wanted them to have the best footing as they possibly could as they continued on with their journey. So the humanoids of this universe started off like this, full of light and being supported by the angels as they were a very newborn race. And everything was so beautiful. And we played in the garden, what you would call Eden, but this is referenced in those, I guess, the texts of humans, but it is originally from the remembrances of this time. The biblical material is heavily coded, It's coded material. It has codes in it from this time. And this is what we were talking about, this original time when we walked with the first humanoid beings. They looked like these elf type of beings. And this was a beautiful garden on this world. This was the garden. This entire planet was the garden. This green world. This green world was the Garden of Eden. There is no other understanding of it. This is the hidden meaning of that scripture. And so we were amongst them, these beautiful beings. And we helped them. We assisted them in the beginning. And we continued to assist them later on. However, they did not see our presence as much, as we took the role of the parent who stands back and lets the child do what it needs to do with its life.
That sounds really beautiful. She wants to know, when was the time that the Elohim and the angels visited Lyra, and what did they do?
They visited during this time. During the beginning times, we visited and we showed them the ways. They were, I'm seeing they were quite free in the beginning and playing amongst each other, these elf sort of humanoid beings. They have, they're very beautiful, and they don't have any clothes, and they were just on their world, just enjoying. They were looking at the stars, and we were amongst them. And we were their friends, and we were showing them, we were talking to them all about the universe and telling them the different ways of being, and just we were just educating them in the beginning, but in like a parental sort of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And while we played with them as well, we had fun with them. And there were waterfalls, and they were swimming through these waterfalls, and it was very, very beautiful. And the angelic beings, they took physical forms too to do this with them. We all had fun together. We all had lots of fun and play with each other. And everything was very beautiful and peaceful. And the sky was always full of stars and beauty and color. This world was so very green, and its trees were so big, huge trees. And they made little houses out of the trees, and they ate fruit from the trees, and they swam and they laughed, and they made friends with the spirits and of this world. We were so happy together with them. And I'm seeing Apollo as well, and the other Elohim. They're having fun with them, smiling. It's very, very joyful, very beautiful, very loving. And they don't really die at this point. They just, when they decide that they want to leave the body, they They just leave the body. There is no, but they can materialize another body if they wish.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is very free and open. Everything is very new. It all feels very exciting. The beginning of a new era.
It sounds really, really beautiful, being in that place. You must have enjoyed it.
It was very lovely.
So what happened regarding the Elohim and the fallen angels around Lyra then?
So these beings, the Nephilim beings, they were watching over from the beginning. They were watching what we were doing. And because of our conflict with these beings, they did not like what we were doing in this universe. So they were watching for some time, I'm seeing. And they decided to slowly seed darkness into this creation that we had, this special creation. But it was not so bad because we knew that this would take part, that this would take place. We knew that it would begin to descend into separation, that it would begin to descend into darkness. And we knew that this would take place. So they were playing their role. However, we did not accommodate for how dark this got, I guess. We did not anticipate how devastating this would be. But at this point we knew that this was taking place, but we let it happen because this is how every universe goes. The Dark Ones seed this, and we allow this to take place so that we can have the experience that we need to experience in each particular universe. And this happens every single time. Every single time there is the rebirth of a new universe. This takes place. There is a beautiful creation, and then there is a seeding of darkness. And then that carries through the separation cycle. And then we move into the oneness cycle as we turn around. So we knew of this, and this was okay.
Okay. What was the Death Star type of ships or weapon that she saw?
This was the Luciferian technology. This was the one known as Lucifer, the fallen Elohim. He was an Elohim being, and then he became a Nephilim being. He fell into density, and so he was the one who invited the reptilian beings into this universe. And they were situated around the creation that we had in Lyra, this creation point. And he made sure that they were very close together. And this This is how it started. This is how it began.
Okay. Is there a gateway to the heavenly realms through the Orion system? And was this gateway ever attacked?
Yes. Yes, there is. There are gateways. There are many gateways. However, we keep a lot of them closed. But there was one that was opened up forcefully during these times.
So what happened when it was opened forcefully? Who did that?
It was opened up by the Nephilim beings, this gateway.
Okay. Was there a reason that they opened it up?
They wanted to infiltrate.
Infiltrate the heavenly realms?
Yes. They wanted to infiltrate into this place, but they were fended off. They were fended off by us.
Okay.
They did not make it very far, but there was an opening, and they tried to come in at one point they tried to come in with reptilian beings as well, but these soon perished. Their ships were shot down immediately as soon as they entered the gate. They were burnt to ashes.
I don't imagine they would have gotten very far very quickly
No,
in a
they did
place
not.
like that.
They did not get very far. They were burned to ashes. So the reptilian beings do not go near the gate anymore.
Is the gate still open?
The gate opens and closes from time to time, but it is like we sent a clear message to these beings that they are not allowed to infiltrate this part of the universe at all. Mm-hmm. This is an incursion of higher law. So they were quickly burnt to crisps. And they have not, their ships were anyway, they were burnt to ashes. They were just vaporized, if you will, by our angelic forces. So they have not done it since. They remember this time specifically, and they do not do it again.
Did Lucifer have anything to do with them entering through this gate, or the gate being forcefully opened?
Yes, he had a doing in the gate being forcefully opened. The fallen angel and what you would call demonic beings had a doing in this gate being forcefully opened. And the reptilian beings didn't make it through, but the Nephilim beings tried to come in and attack, but they were forced away.
Okay. So what other Lyran lifetimes need to be explored in future sessions?
There is the one that she knows of, which is the quite a catastrophic one that took place. This will be in the future. She is not ready for this one now. This is the one that she saw. It has the situation with the cannibalism, not the cannibalism, but the reptilian beings were eating the Lyran beings, and the aftermath of this. And she has hidden this one away, but it will be very useful for her to do this later on and to bring this up for healing. And in accordance with the other ones, there is another one where she was a female Lyran being, she was a female elf being, and she will explore this one as well.
Okay, that's very interesting. Are there any people in her current life that she's had lifetimes with in Lyra?
Yes, she knows of various people she has had lifetimes with, but she is not consciously aware at this stage only of some of them, but a lot of them have been in these lifetimes, more than she knows, more than she is aware of.
Does she need to know about any of them at this point in time? Or will they become aware?
She will become aware of the one that she has had with her friend. She will become aware of that. However, the other ones she will, I guess, know about it later on. More information will come forth.
Okay. So why is Moldavite important for her right now? She had a dream about that.
This is the connection that she has with her friend. This is this stone will reveal more of that connection, and also it is going to, I guess, speed things up for her a lot in terms of her psychic evolution.
Okay.
So she has a connection to her friend, and she will find out more about this connection through this stone. So this was a message.
The dream was the message.
Yes.
Yeah.
When she wears this stone, she will gain more and more awareness of her multidimensional self. So she will become that multidimensional self, and she will remember even more.
Okay.
She does not need to be worried about the stone, because there is, darkness and light within the Moldavite stone, but it is very, very balanced, and she can clear any discordant energies within the stones anyway. She's very connected with them, so nothing bad will happen if she has this stone. This is a very wonderful thing that she is going to be a part of.
Okay. So it sounds like she has nothing to worry about then.
No, this stone will just accelerate more learning for her.
Okay. She mentioned that she's feeling conflicted with her love life, and she wants to know what to do.
She just needs to follow her heart.
Okay.
This will be the best way for her, just to follow her heart. What is her heart telling her to do? Just go deep within, and then to follow that instinct. And then she will find who it is that has been always with her.
Okay. So she doesn't need to worry about anyone right now.
She is choosing to have various experiences with different people from her past lives to, I guess, reignite awakening very quickly. She chooses to have many different experiences with different people. And what this does is, it is like tying the bow, wrapping up all of the loose ends of her past incarnations before we turn the universal cycles. So that is why she's having a connection with one, and then the other, and then the other one after that. She was having a connection with Will, but that was only supposed to be for a very short time. And then after that, the new one And this too will not be for a long time either. She needs to understand this. It will not be for a long time, because what the heart needs is calling. It is going to call her to the right time, the right place, and the right situation for that to take place, for a person with a deeper connection to occur.
Okay.
The one who has a deeper, more profound connection with her.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. She wants to know about family patterns of judgment, and is she able to release any patterns of judgment that she may have inherited from her family, and are they holding her back at all?
Yes, there was the judgment that was holding her back. We will just release this for her now. This is carried on from the family line, so we'll just release that for her. She need not judge others, nor force her opinions onto others, which is what she was doing in that particular lifetime that she saw. She need not do this. She can just be at peace with what she knows within her heart, and know that it is the truth for her. She need not force this onto others. So I'm just releasing this for her now.
Thank you. She noticed that she has some hormonal acne, and she mentioned that you've done hormonal clearing for her previously. Is that something that you're able to do again?
Yes, I can give her liver and thyroid and various organs a bit of a boost, so that she can acclimatize these hormones that are being released from the fat cells. So I'm just helping her with this and speeding this up for her so that her body can acclimatize to this while she is losing the fat.
Thank you for doing that. I am sure she will appreciate it very much. Could you please let me know once you are done doing that?
Yes, it's done.
Thank you very much, Lyra. Is there any other physical stuff that needs to be addressed?
She needs to drink more water. This is the problem. She never drinks enough. But she will benefit greatly if she drank more water. She would not have so many of this acne around the face. This would help with the hormones, but
okay.
She forgets to drink as much. She needs to drink twice as much as what she drinks now.
Okay. I think she did mention that before, that she doesn't drink enough water. Is there anything else you'd like to tell her at this time?
At this time, she is very, very much in connection with the higher self, and with what she is doing with the Lyran project, the Lyran exploration. This will bring this more forth, this connection in with the multidimensional selves.
Okay. Alright. Is that all that she needs to know?
Yes, yes, that is all that she needs to know at this time. The body is getting a bit hot.
Would you like me to remove the other blanket?
No, it is okay.
Okay.
It would be good for her to breathe more also.
Okay. Is that something that she can practice during meditation?
Yes, to breathe more deeply and drink more water. That will help the transformation because there will be more and more light codes and solar flares.
Okay. Alright, so to drink more water and to breathe more deeply, more often.
Yes.
Alright. Is there anything else that she needs to know?
No, just seeding this ability to breathe more deeper in, giving an activation to the lungs.
Okay. Interesting. Has Silver finished with his downloads?
Yes, he finished some time ago.
Okay, wonderful. Alright. It was lovely meeting you, Lumina.
Thank you.
And we thank you for helping Elizabeth.
Thank you.
We would like to thank Silver for his downloads also.
He says thank you. He is our